Hello and welcome to New Fast Food. We've got a lot of fast food news today, including a sneak peek of some new items coming soon to Sonic, a brand new sandwich available now at Arby's, plus Chick-fil-A is getting into do-it-yourself meal kits. We'll get into all these stories on today's episode. If this is your first time here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, plus you'll also want to hit that notification bell, so therefore you'll always be notified when I release new episodes. With that, let's jump right into it, and we're going to start off by talking about these new items that are coming soon to Sonic. This was revealed to us by Business Insider. They say that they got invited into the Sonic Test Kitchen to take a look at some upcoming products that are not available yet at Sonic. So there are basically 4 items that they revealed to us, and they made it sound like all 4 of these items are definitely coming out, getting a nationwide release sometime soon. Some of them they gave us a rough time frame of when they're going to be releasing. Others they didn't, but we're going to cover all 4 of them. We're going to start. I think we'll start with the dessert items. There were 2 dessert items, and there's also a breakfast item and a new kind of sandwich. So I think we'll start with the dessert, then we'll get to the breakfast sandwich, and then on to that main dinner item. All right. So like I said, there were 2 desserts. So the first one was a sweet pretzel twist. So you may remember earlier this year, way back in January, they released the original pretzel twist, which is basically just a braided pretzel, came with some cheese dipping sauce. That was the Sonic pretzel twist. And they're saying that that item was very successful, so successful that they're going to release a dessert version of it. This is, they don't really have a name for it, at least they didn't say a name for it. They kind of call it the sweet pretzel twist. And so it's a pretzel-y type bread. I'm not sure if it's the exact same pretzel twist that they were using originally, or if they have a little bit of a sweeter recipe for it. But it is a pretzel-y dough, and then it's got, obviously you can see it's doused in cinnamon and sugar, and then it comes with this icing that you dip it in. So they said that this one tasted really good, and I'd have to agree based on how it looks. It looks like it's really good. That looks like something to be excited about. And then the other dessert was an Oreo cookie cone, and this one has Oreos on multiple levels. So first up, that cone, you can see it's sort of an Oreo color. It's a Oreo cone, and then on the inside of the cone, they say that it's actually got some kind of Oreo type filling. It doesn't sound like it's actual Oreo filling that is on the inside of that cone, but it sounds like they kind of drizzle some sort of white icing topping, and then that white sauce actually hardens. So on the inside of that Oreo cone, you have a hard white layer, then you have the ice cream, then you have crushed Oreos on top. So like I said, Oreos on multiple levels with this. This one, if you're a fan of Oreo desserts, Oreo, sweet frozen treats, this one is right up that alley. All right, then into the breakfast sandwich. So they started this one off by saying that the Sonic Slingers, which are currently I guess not on the menu, they're going to be coming back in September. So a couple more months, the Sonic Slingers will be back. I'm a little bit surprised actually that they're bringing them back. Anyways, they're bringing back the Sonic Slingers, which of course are those burgers that had mixed in with the ground beef was the ground mushrooms and some other seasonings. So they're bringing those back, and at the same time, they're going to introduce a breakfast sandwich. And the reason why it has to be introduced along the same time as bringing back the Slingers is because this breakfast sandwich uses the same bun as the Slingers do. So it's obviously going to be a smaller breakfast sandwich. Of course, the Slingers were sort of kind of right in between a regular burger and a slider in terms of size. So this breakfast sandwich is going to be sort of probably on the smaller side, definitely smaller than the only other breakfast sandwich that they currently offer, which is on Texas toast. So yeah, so this one going to be, I think it's pretty much the same thing, just on a different kind of bun. And then finally, they talked about introducing a Philly cheesesteak. And there's a couple interesting things here. First of all, Philly cheesesteak comes on a hot dog bun, so they're foot-long hot dog bun. I think that's actually pretty cool. I think, as long as you're okay with a smaller size for your Philly cheesesteak, that the hot dog bun is going to fill in perfectly fine. But then the article said that they made the Philly cheesesteak with ingredients that were already on the menu, and I don't really know where they're getting the beef from then, right? Because I don't know of any other Sonic items that have Philly cheesesteak beef on them. The only thing I could think of, if that statement really is true, the only thing I can think of is they're chopping up the burger meat, sort of similar to like Wendy's makes their chili. If they have some like leftover burgers, if they're just chopping them up, or maybe they're not leftovers, maybe someone orders a Philly cheesesteak, they chop up a burger and throw it in the hot dog bun and call it Philly cheesesteak. I don't know if that's the case. Actually, in these pictures, it doesn't really look like the case. It doesn't look like the Philly cheesesteak is made up of chopped up burger meat. So maybe they meant that all the other ingredients on the Philly cheesesteak, except for the beef is going to be items that are already on the menu. I'm not sure. I'd actually lean that direction if I were to make a guess. That probably, the cheese, the onions, everything else that's on the Philly cheesesteak, they already had those, and the hot dog bun, obviously. They already had that on the menu, so the only thing they had to bring in was the beef to make the Philly cheesesteaks. I think that makes a lot more sense. Either way, I think this is a really cool idea for Sonic. Philly cheesesteaks, I think, fit right in along the rest of their menu. I think that's going to be a great addition to Sonic whenever they happen to release that. That's one of the ones that they didn't really have a time frame of when it's going to release. So the breakfast sandwich, they said September. The Oreo cookie cone, they said towards the end of summer. So really that Philly cheesesteak and I think the sweet pretzel twist are the ones we really don't know a time frame of when they're going to release. And we're pretty confident that all 4 of these items are actually going to be released nationwide, because the article also said that they got to try some other items during this visit to the test kitchen. They tried some other items, but those items hadn't passed the testing phase yet. So they weren't allowed to share those with the public. So based on that statement, I would say that these other items that we just talked about, these ones have passed the testing phase. They are going to be coming out soon. Of these items, I'm really excited about the Philly cheesesteak. That would be the one that I would be most excited to try. I think second would be the Oreo cookie cone. And we're going to see the Philly cheesesteak, the Oreo cone, the sweet pretzel twist, and the new breakfast sandwich sometime probably before the end of the year. Alright, next up, Arby's just rolled out a brand new sandwich. Actually, they rolled out a few new items. We're going to talk about all of them, and it's actually a little bit surprising which one I'm most excited about out of this bunch. So there's smokehouse beef short rib sandwich. So obviously the new meat that they're serving here is the smokehouse beef short ribs. So take a look here. This one comes on Texas toast. It's got crispy onions on it. It comes in the regular version of it, and then it also comes in the Smoke Mountain version. So the Smoke Mountain, basically just like all the other mountain sandwiches at Arby's, they take pretty much all the meats they got on the menu, pile them up, you get them all on one sandwich, and that's their mountain sandwich. And then finally, they also have here the smokehouse beef short rib loaded curly fries. So this one is actually the one out of all 3 of those items that I am most excited about. I love Arby's curly fries, so you'll get to try the meat and you'll also get those curly fries, which I love. I think the other reason why I don't find the sandwich version all that appealing is because it comes on the Texas toast, and I know you can probably substitute that Texas toast for whatever kind of bun that you want. It just looks like, from the promotional pictures, it looks like it's going to be a really bready sandwich, and I'd honestly rather go with the loaded fries here. I think it trickles down into the Smoked Mountain as well. I wouldn't normally say that the mountain sandwiches are going to be too bready, but this just looks like, there's so much bread there. You're going to have a hard time, if you weren't already, you're going to have a hard time fitting that sandwich in your mouth because those toast layers are so thick. So the smokehouse beef short ribs are available now at Arby's. You can get it in the sandwich version, you can get it in the fries version, or you can get it in the Smoke Mountain version. And next up, Chick-fil-A is definitely trying something new with this next one. They're getting into the meal kit craze. So meal kits, if you don't know, these are things where sometimes you subscribe to a service, sometimes you pick them up at the grocery store. They come with a kit of ingredients that you would use to cook a dinner for yourself. So you get home, you open up this kit, you follow the instructions, and you make yourself a very nice dinner. And these are just rolling out into a testing phase. They're testing them in Atlanta, basically now through mid-November. So if you live in the Atlanta area, this is something you'll be able to try right now. Based on that test is going to determine whether these meal kits are going to be available nationwide or not. Chick-fil-A is actually the first fast food restaurant that is dipping its toes into the meal kit craze, and I'm kind of torn on it. I really don't know how to feel about it. The whole meal kit thing, I've actually never tried. When I first heard about meal kits, I kind of was excited because I kind of hoped that the benefit would be that you would be able to make a really nice dinner at home for not that much money. But it turns out that these meal kits actually cost basically almost as much as it would cost to go out to dinner. So value-wise, I don't perceive there to be a ton of value with the meal kits. I guess the value lies more in being able to get a higher quality meal at a lower end restaurant price. So at Chick-fil-A's case, the meal kits cost about 15 bucks. Actually, almost 16 bucks, $15.89. So that, and say it serves 2 people. So if you say that $16 for 2 people, that's about $8 a person. Like I said, that's about the same price as you would pay going out to a restaurant. Or if you go out to a restaurant, maybe you have to tip. So if this, same price as if you maybe got takeout from a restaurant. I don't know. The whole thing is, I guess maybe I'd have to experience it. Maybe you actually get bigger portions. I'm not sure. Maybe this is something that I just have to experience before I get it. And so these meal kits that Chick-fil-A is offering, they're not the traditional Chick-fil-A menu items. These are more like menu items you would think you would get at like a sit-down restaurant. So there's 5 of them. There's the chicken parmesan, chicken enchiladas, Dijon chicken, pan roasted chicken, and chicken flatbread. It's really throwing me for a loop. And you might say, if you have to go to Chick-fil-A to get a meal prep kit, why wouldn't you just, while you're at Chick-fil-A, get food from Chick-fil-A and eat that instead? Then you wouldn't even have to make it yourself. So Chick-fil-A is saying that they're aiming this at people that are coming to Chick-fil-A for like breakfast or lunch, and they say while they're there, they'll pick up one of these kits and I guess save it in the fridge at work or something so they can take it home later, so they won't have to make a stop on the way home from work. So that sort of makes sense. I could see that being, one of the cases where this would happen. I think though that if meal kits are becoming popular at grocery stores, I think that's where they see the opportunity. Chick-fil-A does, is they're saying, hey, rather than going into the grocery store to get a meal kit, we have a drive-through at our business. You can just come to Chick-fil-A, go through the drive-through, never have to get out of your car, and still get a nice meal kit you can pick up that you can use at home. And without getting the details of actually breaking down each dish, I will say that just looking at them, if I were going to try the Chick-fil-A meal kits, I would probably first try either the Dijon chicken one or the chicken enchilada ones. Those ones look the most interesting. I like that the Dijon chicken one comes with mac and cheese. I think that's really cool. The third one, if I were going to try a third one, it'd probably be that pan roasted chicken, because that one actually looks pretty good too. If I was going to try one, I'd rather do the crispy version than the grilled. The chicken parmesan, I wouldn't be too interested in having a meal kit for a pasta. I feel like I could make pasta myself without a kit. Chicken flatbread, it really just doesn't look like there's much going on there. It looks like you eat the flatbreads and just kind of sprinkle the chicken and everything else on top, probably pop it in the oven. Not a whole lot going on with that one. So, actually there you go. I did kind of break down each of the meal kits. Again, they're just testing right now in Atlanta, and then based on that test, we'll determine whether or not they're going to be coming nationwide. And I'm going to leave you on a bit of a sad note. Actually not too sad probably for most of you, but sad for me, because over the weekend I went to Burger King to pick up some dinner and found out that the Burger King in my area has closed. It's gone out of business. You can see the picture here. There's nothing left of the Burger King except for the Burger King frame of the sign, and they're going to be currently rebuilding it. There was a sign on the other side of the fence that you can't see here that they're going to be replacing this Burger King with a Starbucks. So yeah, the Burger King in my area is going to be no longer. Don't be too sad for me though, because I live in a bigger city. There's plenty of Burger Kings around. The next closest one I will have to get on the freeway to get to, but it's not too far away. And actually, I didn't really want to leave you on a sad note. There's actually a happy ending to the story. I went from the closed down Burger King over to that next nearest one, and they actually had, I guess, a store special. I've never really seen them do something like this before. They had like a special of the day that was just typed up and printed out and pasted on the drive-through speaker. But it was a 9-piece pretzel chicken fries and a large order of fries for $3. And I thought that deal was just too amazing to pass up. I went ahead and got that for dinner. So it sounds like Burger King is trying to get rid of their pretzel chicken fries. I'm pretty sure that is signaling that there's something new coming down the pipe at Burger King very soon. I'm gonna keep my eyes open so that you'll know about whatever's coming next to Burger King right here on this channel. But that's enough out of me. Now it's up to you to continue the conversation down below. I want to know, what do you feel about meal kits? Have you tried them? Do you like them? Are you not a fan? Are they just too weird for you? You don't want to cook your own food? You don't want to pay, restaurant prices for food and still have to cook it yourself? Let me know. I'd be very curious to find out what you guys, the fast food foodies and drive-through cuties, think about not only meal kits in general, but what about these Chick-fil-A ones? Do you think it's a good idea for Chick-fil-A to get into the meal kit business? Is that something you would consider picking up at Chick-fil-A? Let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing. We talk about fun stuff like this twice a week. I release new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you can watch more right now.